the kids.
Yeah, kids.
What are the babies?
Do you know, I don't really get that, you know, it's more you. I don't get that.
Precious, where are my children now? I'm ready to hold them.
They're coming soon.
I'd be like, auntie, sis, unless you're ready to look after them, don't be saying nothing, yeah?
Yeah, nah, not right now. Soon though, but not this soon. We've only been married for we haven't been married for a year. There's no rush.
I actually didn't know that you really, really don't want kids straight away. I actually thought you did.
I just thought you was going to be able to wait, to be honest with you. Wait a little while. I knew that you wanted to have kids, but I don't think you wanted to have kids within the first day of being married, pretty much. Obviously, when we obviously was married now, it was a pleasant surprise where every other conversation was about having children.
So you're telling me you really didn't know, like you had no idea?
No, I didn't know, you know. I had no idea.
The reason why I keep asking, and almost don't believe is because I just felt like it's like a normal thing. I felt like men are you just know that this is what a woman wants.
Sorry, I might be spoiled because I'm definitely not psychic. Anyway, I thought that the main priority was for us to build for our future and our children's future. That's what I thought anyway. That's mainly a lot of the conversation we had before we got married. But then obviously when we got married now and you wanted to have kids straight away, I was just like, where did that come from? Because we didn't really talk about having kids straight away. So
you had no idea that I wanted kids straight away?
No.
I feel like I've said this so many times.
No, you didn't. Still.
So we never ever spoke about when we wanted kids.
No.
So what were we doing?
Nothing. Just.
Is that
trying to sort out a wedding, isn't it?
That's true, you know. Because when I think about it, we spent a good. Because we met and got married within 12 months. Well, 13 months roughly. I felt like we spent 12 plus months just thinking about getting married, where we're going to get married, what we're going to wear. Went through loads of marriage counselling. So we never spoke about it during marriage counselling?
No, we didn't have an in-depth conversation about it, put it that way.
I'm so confused. I just feel like how did we cross the line without clarifying that one little detail?
I don't know, you know. I don't know. I think we touched on it a few times, but it was more just we're going to have children soon when we get married, but there was no specific time.
Yeah,
when we actually said it was going to happen.
It was soon, we'll have kids soon. Or when people ask us, when do you think you'll have kids? We'll be like, it won't be too long. We'll just give really vague answers. But I think between us, we'd never actually decided. For example, I never outrightly said I want kids straight away, and you never outrightly said you want to wait a few years. Body or clock? Do you believe in body or clock?
I believe in Jesus Christ. That's what I believe in.
One time he said to me, the reason why he doesn't believe in body and clock is because Moses and Sarah done had a child at age 99, and therefore...
It wasn't Moses and Sarah, it was Abraham and Sarah.
Sorry, Abraham and
You're the one who's always... You're the one who's always forcing me to read the Bible. You don't even know it yourself. You see?
Okay, rewind. Abraham and Sarah had a child in their 90s, basically, and that is his justification for me saying I'm turning 30 in January, and my age doesn't really matter. I can have kids at any time, basically. And I was trying to explain to him that it's actually scientifically proven that your eggs actually start to halve from age 35. So when he gets 35, let's say for example you got 10 million, at 36 you're gonna have 5 million, at 37 you're gonna have 2.5 million, and it just goes on and on and on.
How many children do you want to have? How many children do you want to have?
4.
4 kids?
Yeah. So you were adamant. At first you said 5 years. I was like, okay. Then you said 2 years. Then you said another 5 years. So I was like, it was making me now a bit worried. Oh my gosh, is it ever really gonna happen? Because you really didn't want it soon. So I was feeling am I gonna have kids when I'm in my mid-30s? And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's not what I wanted for myself. Because I always just say to you as well, I actually want kids as early as possible, so we can all grow up together, and then in the long run we can let them go when we're ready to retire, instead of like, you know, having like 18-year-olds when we're in like our 50s or 60s. I'd actually would love it if we're around that age and we're seeing them off, like getting married. Do you know what I mean? So we can continue enjoying our life. That was my thought process.
Yeah, but if you think about it, even if we have children right now, that's still going to be the case.
I'm 29.
Yeah, I'm 27.
So if we have a child like today,
yeah,
that means when the child is 20, I'll be 49 and you'll be 47.
Which is still near to our 50s. So what difference does it make? It's only 1 year. It's not like I feel like decisions like that, decisions like that should be made when you're in your mid-20s. Then it's different. Then there's a big age gap. But then even if we had a child tomorrow, it would still be the same predicament.
I don't think so, because if a child is 20, they're still dependent on you. They still will be like, Mom, Dad, can you borrow me this? Can you borrow me that? They'll be at university. We'll have to support them through that. Then they'll leave university. They'll probably have to move back home. Do you know what I mean? Like, you would still, even though a child would be over 18, they would still be very dependent on you until, I would say, like age 25.
Okay, so what difference does it make now? Or
so let's say, for example, we're like 5 years time.
Oh no, that's too long, isn't it? We won't have children. Like, we won't wait that long. That's a long time, isn't it? We'll definitely have children before then. Obviously, we've had conversations about it, which haven't been easy. But as we spoke to our marriage counsellor, he said that we should just, you know, always bring the subject back up. You know, to never sort of park it, which I said is fine. You know, but yeah, we've had a lot of conversations about it, but we've just realised that it's something we will have, but just not yet, because we haven't even been married for a year. I just think there's no rush.
So going back to like when we used to disagree about it, like I used to get so upset, like I would cry and cry and cry and cry and cry. I fully cried, like bitter cry. I think generally when people tell me no, I feel like it's like a definite no and a definite never, but I've had to like change my mind about that. It just means like not now, basically.
Yeah, basically. Not now.
And something our marriage counsellor said to us, which was like really helpful, was like having an ongoing conversation. It doesn't mean you have to always come to a resolution like right now. Your resolution can come next year, it can come in 2 years' time, 5 years' time, but it is about like always talking about it and not you know, not settling on what I want, not settling on what you want, but agreeing at the right time. What are your actual reasons for not wanting to have children right now?
My actual reasons? I just think there's no rush. I think obviously there's a lot of pressure on couples to have children because of what we see on Instagram and what we see around us. But I think every person and every couple has their own individual journey. And, you know, people can have children in their 30s, people can have children in their 50s. I'm not saying that's going to be our case, but I'm just saying that right now, obviously we've only got married how many months ago? Hasn't even been a year. Because obviously the first year, pretty much like you just moved into your place, do you know what I mean? You're sorting things out, finances, all that stuff. So why then in the middle of organising, then you bring another life into that? And then and so most times it just brings more stress. You know, obviously if it happens, isn't it? But, you know, you put measures in place so it don't happen. But there's no rush to have children. There's no rush. You know, a child is a life, you know, and a life is not a joke. You bring a life into this world, there's a lot of responsibility. So you just have to make sure that in you making that decision, not only you're, you know, practically, you know, stable, but mentally as well, because children have a big part to play on the emotions of a man and woman. Being a father is a big responsibility, and it's a responsibility that a lot of men don't know how to actually navigate in their lives, you know. And I think obviously for me personally, I don't just want to have a child and then, you know, be in a position where you mentally freak out and you're not there emotionally for your child. You know, obviously you can have as much money as you need to be. I think it's beyond that for me. It's not just about having the finances, because if we wanted to, we could have it right now. But, you know, it's more about mentally being in a position where you can cope with, you know, raising a child in the right way, you know, in the way of the Lord, which obviously is not a big thing, but I just think you just need to be in a position where you know you have peace about that decision. And, you know, obviously a lot of the times in our past, like, we make decisions based upon our emotions and based upon, you know, what we feel is right and what we think is right. But I think now, as believers who have grown, I think it's important to make decisions based on your peace, of, you know, that the Lord gives you, the peace that surpasses all things, not just because it looks good or it sounds good. So until I have that peace, I don't think I'll be in a position where I would like to have a child. But yeah, obviously finances play a big part of it, you know, in it. And just as I said, mentally for me, that's the main thing. Just being in a position where you're able to raise a child. That's where I need to be at. Once I'm there, then yeah, I don't mind having as many as you want. But until I'm there, I just don't think it's necessary. It's wise, because then at the same time, it's like if the woman forces the man to have a child when he's not mentally ready or mentally fit, you know, it has a lot of implications. You know, the man can end up being depressed. You know, it can bring a lot of conflict. You know what I mean? It's not good, man. You wanna be in a position where, you know, both people are in a position where they say, okay, cool, this is the decision that I'm looking to make and do.
You see what you just said? It took me like a long time to accept all that you're saying.
Yeah, you just thought I just didn't want to have it because of finances. That's what you thought.
Yeah, because you know how men can be sometimes. It's like, oh, you know, I've got to get my money up, I've got to get this, got to get a house, got to get a car. And then I'm just there thinking, like, there are people there that don't have that and have children and they're fine. But I guess it's about what you want for your family. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I think that's okay for a man to say, like, this is what I want for my family. I want my family to be okay before we do this. I had a major problem with that before. I had to really submit in what I want and to respect, like, what he wants. It doesn't mean that I have to want what he wants. I still, like, right now, I still want kids right now. No one's going to change that. But, like, it's about, like, respecting what you want as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll be like, you know, I might be ready, I might not. But as I said, being open to have that conversation and then eventually getting to a point where we say, okay, we're ready now. No, it's not about making another person feel silly, because everyone's entitled to their opinions, but it's just about having that initial conversation and making sure that you're both on the same path.
There's certain things that you've said to me in our arguments that literally, like, made me crumble, yeah? I'm going to say it.
I think everything I've said to you has made you crumble. What hasn't made you crumble?
Okay, one thing you said to me was, I want kids so I can show on Instagram that I'm pregnant.
Yeah, because you know why I said that. Because we had a baby shoot and then all of a sudden you just brought up the conversation randomly. I'm just like, is it because you've seen the baby now that you want to have babies now? Okay,
I took pictures of a baby and then he was there with me, so he was holding a baby and it looks really cute. I was like to him, that could be us one day, or something like that, or like, oh, you look really good holding a baby, or something like that.
And then what did I respond?
What did you say again?
I said, yeah, you're right. I said, yeah, it could be us one day.
And then I said, I really want babies.
And that's when the argument started. It's actually always you that starts most of our arguments, you know.
Yeah, it is. I'm not gonna lie.
It's actually always you. Sorry, it'll come soon. Don't worry.
Yeah,
just be patient.
But the thing is, yeah, I'm very content. Like, I don't feel like without a baby I'm like dying. Like, honestly, I'm very, very content. Obviously, like we said, we just got married. Very content with him.
And obviously, because our situation, do you know what I mean? Like, we're not like I'm saying that, you know, everything we do, we're self-employed basically.
Yeah.
I'm saying, and our work is governed by contracts. So I'm not saying that we have to make sure contracts are always in place, but I'm saying that, you know, let there be a bit of, you know, flexibility in how we move. You know, let us enjoy ourselves, let us gain some perspective, and let us build credibility in ourselves. And
I think that's another thing, like, when you fall pregnant, you have to think about, well, we're self-employed, so we have to think about like so many things in terms of like like cover for when I can't do something or when you can't do something.
And obviously most
like being sick. Imagine like I've got a shoot and I've got like morning sickness. There's no way like.
Oh yeah, I need to make inquiries about that actually.
Oh yeah, like we need to set up like what's it called again? There's some kind of like insurance you can get as a self-employed person for maternity, like a maternity.
I need to shout out thingy for that.
Something. Anyway, we need to set up all these like things to cover ourselves, like when we do get there, and like we don't have that cover right now, so it probably actually wouldn't be wise if we had kids like right now. Wait, why is 4 not a good number? You had 4 brothers. There's 5 in my family. Like why?
4 kids.
Yeah.
It's possible. God is in control of it.
So like we're saying, the conversation obviously like has to continue. It's something that we don't agree about, and we don't know when we're going to agree about it, but we're going to keep talking about it.
Yeah, I'm open to keep talking about it. I don't mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know.
But yeah, 4 children is possible, innit? We just have to see.
5. Amen. Okay, so thanks for tuning in to our YouTube video. Subscribe to our channel. Follow us on social media at Dorothy7_, at Precious Tamino 1_, and drop us your comments. Let us know what you think. Bye now.